Hello everyone, welcome to PhoenixReturned. This is my YouTube gaming channel. Today I'm going to be playing Fallout 76 and I'll be showing you how to build a mountaintop resort, which is a base or camp on possibly the most highest mountain in the game. That said, I'm going to be showing you how I turned this into this. So the base is actually on Seneca Rock, which is located to the east of Fallout 76 shelter and to the north of the top of the world, which you've just seen in the background of the video. So this is the area that we're looking at now. Is actually the start of the base, the front of the base, if you like. And note that there's a panda on the left hand side. That's how you know you're on the right cliff top and in the right location as well. The entire base is going to be built based around the bridge going through the centre, so that's kind of the centre focal point and attraction. Please note where the camp toolbox projector is. Where you place that will give you your area of building space, and there's a taller rock in front. If you build there, you can have a larger saloon as in the base, which is just featured here on the left of the video. If you build on a smaller rock behind it, it will give you a smaller saloon, and your saloon and your hotel building will be connected. The hotel is the building in the middle that goes that has a bridge coming from it. So there's a few more clips at the base. So if you like how this looks and you think that you want to try and recreate it yourself or take something from it, please carry on watching and use this to help you. It took me a long time to make the video, so that was fun. So now, here we go. So place your start of the bridge on this tip of the rock here. The base is very precise, so wherever you place this, you will have to kind of make amendments to your own base when you're doing this, because of the restrictions of the building circle. So if you build out of the perimeter where you're not allowed to build, obviously it's going to be a problem for you. But generally speaking, with the projector toolbox where it's placed currently will give you plenty of space to build this base. And I've made 3 different variations of this base doing this, and it has actually been relatively the same. You can see my channel, there's a kind of showcase video of the Mountaintop resort, and it's about 3 minutes long, but it's pretty much the same as this base. There's a slight variation on the hotel and the shape of the saloon. What I will say is the smaller saloon and hotel variation will give you more budget to decorate your base. Now I've just built the I can see that we just built the bridge. What I will say with the bridge is make sure that it's an even amount of singular blocks. So you know, use only 8 connecting bridge blocks with 2 of the bridge blocks of the legs. If you do an uneven number, your blocks will not add up. So mine worked out to about 8 connecting blocks, and obviously one end piece of the block and another end piece of the block. So please bear that in mind, that it should add up to an equal amount of foundation squares. Now I've used here 5 foundation blocks in this part, but I did realise afterwards that the building zone had moved slightly from where I placed the camp projector. I kind of think it happened for the better. So it will be edited down to 3 building blocks of a ramp. The ramp is a little bit tricky to place, but you would have seen in the video to jump down the mountaintop to place it. So here we go. I've gone to the other side of the bridge now, and you just place 3 blocks on this end and then a ramp going down to the bottom, and again you'll see that I'll jump down to the bottom of the bridge to place this ramp, because it can be a little bit tricky to place sometimes from up on that level, and you see it's a nice and easy place there. Now This bit I did struggle with a little bit with placement, so you will see me fast forward through, but what I will say is these ramps have to be connected to the, I believe they have to be connected to a ground, so they have to be connected to them. It's like an anchor, but the plain, just a simple concrete foundation can actually be placed just floating as long as it's connected to another one. So you can see here I've placed another one here to connect them. So what I'm trying to do now is build lower down into the base. So the idea is that we have a courtyard or foundation blocks underneath the bridge, and that's going to be kind of the I guess the biggest area you can walk around in, and it's going to be the open area, I guess. It will connect the saloon, and you may have seen in the video there was 2 diners as well, so it will connect those as well, and it will connect steps going up to the bridge that goes to the hotel. So here you can see I'm trying to get the ramp down to the ground level, and here you'll notice as I try to place blocks around the side, I'm going to build them all the way across to the end piece, and this is actually going to be the going to become the staircase that leads down to the courtyard. Thank God I can speed this video up. It does make life a lot easier. So here we go, your first set of stairs. This set of stairs is a full-length stair, so it's not half a level. It is actually full level down, because it does make it a little bit easier with the anchoring of the blocks, because you can see underneath the blocks anchored to the wall. I will show you how to break the link between the 2 blocks in a moment, which you'll see in the video as well. So now we have our correct level, but we need to get rid of this block, and it won't let us do it. So I'm going to show you, if you place a block right next to it, it will anchor the rest of the structure, and then you can actually work backwards and delete the ramp and the square. It's funny because I've done this bit maybe 3 times or so in this base, and maybe 4 times or 5 whilst building the first time, and yeah, it always feels a little bit unpredictable. Now I moved the camp projector toolbox up to the bridge because it gives quite a good spawn location. If you didn't already know, the camp projector does actually determine where you're spawned in the base, or where people will spawn in when they travel to your base, when they fast travel. It doesn't give a precise location, but I think it's like a perimeter around the projector toolbox. So it could be anywhere around that location, but a few times I spawned directly on the bridge. A few of my friends have spawned in under the bridge. I don't think with that placement I've had many spawning outside the base, but if you do spawn outside the base, sometimes you find that you can fall off it, or you'll just be floating there, and if that happens, just respawn back in again. So now I am moving on to building a ramp down to one of the diners. It is actually the Red Rocket Diner that's going to be built for this part here. So you can see now I'm just clearing space to put more platforms down. Once we've done this platform, we'll be moving on. So next is the saloon. This is going to have the Tipsy Tom vendor inside it. So you can see we're using a ramp to create a half level. I do a couple of half levels in this. The idea of the half level for me in this base is to create a different point of view from the game. So when you're looking from up on a bridge, you can see different levels of house levels, where they start off on lower levels or have a higher roof than another. So it looks like a more interesting landscape, basically. I've used 3 wooden blocks to create like a kind of porchway for the saloon. This saloon I did have to make it a little bit smaller than the previous one, and again that was because I placed the projector on a smaller rock. It meant that I had a bigger budget but a smaller space to build my saloon, and it's also touching the hotel as well, which I didn't mind because it's on a different level and different building material. I think it was fine. So when you go to build your version of this, you can do whichever one you want. I have gone for the basic wooden structure. I think that looks really cool as the saloon. It gives it like that kind of authentic feel. It is actually built in a T shape. I think you can see that is interesting to work with. But to be fair, it's actually worked out well. And also, you know, with bases this sort of size, you do often have to cut back on different elements of the build. So the first time I built this base, about a week ago, I had to cut back on loads of furnishing and decorating and stuff like that because it just the budget was used up by everything with the build. But I ended up with really big buildings that didn't have much in them, which doesn't always really look that good. Fine if you have lots of people visiting your base. So you can see I use a fireplace, but if you don't have that, you can always use a stove instead. The log burner, which is or the wood stove, I think it's called in the game. Which I think is still really cool. I really like the look of that. I wish it lit up, but so another thing is moving back to look at the base to see what it looks like from the outside. You can see that with the doorway I have put it on backwards and then put a panel on the front to try and give it that kind of saloon feel. And just be careful whilst placing these walls next to the concrete block in case they flip around to the other side. But yeah, so for this saloon, the idea is going to be that upstairs is going to be the workbench area, and then downstairs is going to be the vendor and piano and fireplace and a couple of bar stools. So it's got like that feel. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of obviously in Fallout 76 it's a, you know, slightly abstract game because it's post-apocalypse, so everything's going to be a bit different. But the idea, I think, is that people go to visit this place to shop for their vendors, or when I said resort, like, you know, just, I guess it would be like a family or couple coming to stay. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit weird and different, but also it's really fun to build and look really cool at the end. So yeah. I did use the wooden panels for the walls, and then for the floor I use the dark cherry wood flooring as well, which you'll see me put in a moment. But I have made this as an authentic working base, so it will have 4 vendors, and it will have all the workbenches, and it will have a scrap box. And even though like the workbenches, vendors and scrap boxes, they're sometimes an eyesore for the base, but they're hidden away inside the building, and you know, the building has the space there to do it. So for me, I felt like it looked okay. So you can see here I deleted part of the balcony because it was in contact with the bridge. I didn't really like the look of it, so I got rid of it, but I have added in a window there as well. Now these kind of pointy roof parts just give it that look of it being like giving like some more structure, and you see that a lot in like kind of those Western movies where they added bits of wood on there, or they have like a sign on them or something. For this one, I am adding on a neon sign. The idea is that people go to the bar in the evening, and then I've used the other neon sign, which is the morning one. So yeah, well, it's actually not a neon sign, is it? No, it's just a light up sign. But I will be using neon signs as well. So you can see now I'm having the joyful moment of writing Saloon on the front of it. This is actually better than my first time I made it, because the first time I used a bigger sign, and I wrote Tipsy Tom's Saloon, which takes longer to write and takes up more lighting budget. So it's actually better just to keep it simple like that. So next we have the hotel. Now the hotel was originally meant to be just a house, but I thought it kind of went well with the theme of it being like, you know, a place that people come to visit and stay, and you know, it would be a bit weird having just a house with like 3 shops there. So I thought, well, it's a hotel now for a really strange, unique hotel where it's only for one person. But again, like, you can change this yourself. So when you build it, you could build multiple bedrooms in there, you could build just a bar in there if you want, or just a living room. It's really up to you. It's just really giving people ideas and showing them how I built mine. Now you can see this part's quite important. I'm deleting away the extra blocks. So remember earlier in the video I did say that you can have 6 blocks or 4 depending on the size of the hotel that you want. I've gone for a slightly smaller build to give me more budget, so I've gone for the 4 or 3 blocks of 1 ramp. But if in doubt, just rewind the video and have a look again. So you can see I did a ramp down. To place the ramp again, it's a good idea to jump down to the bottom if it doesn't let you, and place it from underneath is a bit easier. So here we go. I'm switching the ramp around because I wanted it to look a little bit more open plan, and at that point I decided that maybe the kitchen bar area should be down there, joined up with the living room area. For the roofing, I have just used the plain original like slate colour roof, which is what I've chosen that just because I think it doesn't look so harsh, it looks a bit softer. And then the green ones I've used actually for the other buildings, like the vending, like the diners for example, because the diners are more vibrant and people will be visiting them, so I think it's kind of cool to have the variation of different roof colours. So here I've used the cage wall for the bathtub. You could just put a banister there, or you could have a half wall if you don't have the cage wall, or if you have the glass wall you can use that as well. I just thought this kind of went really well with the build. I do like a fireplace, so you can see the fireplace is up there. I thought it would be cool to have it right next to the bathtub so it would be kind of warm where you need it, and also kind of warm up the room as well and look cool. So now I'm using again another fireplace. Again, if you don't have it, you can use the log burners, or you could even just have like a lamp on a table or something if you don't want to have a fireplace, if you just want to fill the space. So I'm definitely a sucker for the bear rug and the log fire and the leather sofa, as well as the Fashion Ash wallpaper. I've used that in my last video for my last space as well, which is like a springtime in the Maya. I will say try and get your carpet and floor choices down first. So you probably already know that when you go to change it, sometimes it rotates the furniture around into awkward places. Luckily that's not happened with me and where on this part, but it did happen later on where I just edited it out to save time for you because the video is long enough as it is. With the building sets for the kitchen, if in doubt, you can just use like the metal tables. I think kind of look like a bit like a kitchen work surface, but more of a back kitchen. We are now on the last stage of the building the structure, so it's the last buildings. Right now I'm currently putting AstroTurf on the section where the Slocum Joe's is going to be. So I do edit this area a little bit and just expand it, which you'll see in the video. I have gone with the red floor tiles, just if the if the patterns bother you, make sure you flip the tiles so they all connect up correctly. I did make a little box with the doorways to create this extended part of the roof you can see. And then you delete the walls afterwards, which makes it a bit easier with building that roof part. I have used the diner tiles as well. The Slocum Joe's are my favourite vendor style, so I decided that too would go in here because it's I really like it, it's my favourite one. If you don't have a Slocum Joe's, you can just use a market sign and put normal vendors inside and just put a sofa in there and tables if you want, which is what I've done in an old base which I made before I started videoing them. So I haven't put any tables or chairs outside, so from Joe's it's just really a bit of a garden area, I guess. But I have gone for the signs on top. So for me, the signs on top were like a sort of key moment, because I wanted it to look like a kind of neon lights and like signs, so you're like actually somewhere very different. And with the open signs, I think it really helps direct players to where the vending machines are. So if they see the open sign there, there's a high chance there's going to be a vending machine there. So any place where there's a vending machine, I put the open sign and tried to keep it like that. For the Red Rocket Diner, we've just moved on to that now. Black and white tiled floor. I thought there's a lot of red furniture, so maybe didn't need the red tiles and the red wallpaper. You might have noticed I've gone for double windows for the diners. I always feel like that looks more like a shop, whereas the singular window looks more like a house. So that's kind of my rule that I followed through the game, just like my thing, I guess. So it's up to you whether you want to do that or not. I use the red brick ones because I think they look like little shops, but you can do other things as well. So I put the Red Rocket Diner vending machine inside, obviously. So I guess it kind of looks like a vending machine slash restaurant slash eatery bar. I really love the furnishings for the Red Rocket one. They're like a sparkly, glittery red. I mean, what's not to like about that? So at this point I had purchased the new Red Rocket set, but I felt like I wanted to stick with the old one. I can use the new set in another build, and I'd already designed this one with the old set, so I wanted to keep it simple. So I've had to make my own sign for Red Rocket since they have not given one that I can buy, which I kind of like because I still think it looked really cool. So if you didn't notice in the video, I had used a Red Rocket chair and spun it around the wrong way so you see the logo, and then I put a small spotlight, so here you can see it right now just as it's being placed. So there we have it. So this part is really fast because most people know how to put light swap and connectors, but for anyone who wasn't sure how to light the area without using tons of lighting, or how to put connectors up in such a large space without there being tons of wires everywhere, I'm a big fan of having the cables on show because it's, you know, it's post-apocalypse, so it's you know, I think it's cool to have like all the cables visible and it look a little bit dangerous, and also it saves on the budget as well if you use the connectors and the cables. So you can see just all of the places I put it, just to make it work. So this is the end result. I have added in a few extra things here and there, but it was nothing really challenging to do, so I didn't think it was necessary to show it all. But give a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, please. And thank you for watching. I hope it helps with this build stuff. I'd love to see anyone that recreates this space and does their own interpretation of it or tries to. I am on PlayStation 5, so if you want me to come and visit your base, I'll have to do it on that console. But yeah, thanks for watching.